Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's Trade of the Day, Monday night Zoom edition, and we had a dismal week last week. Bitcoin and Ethereum down considerably, a little bit of a bump over the weekend and today. So let's go to the chart and check it out. Okay, you should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
Thank you. And as you can see, we had several red candles here on the day chart, but two coming back on the green. So we had a green candle on Sunday, and we're threatening to have one today. So good stuff, but not much movement. We went down to the low 26s. Did have let's go on a shorter chart. Did have this move today that was nice, but then kind of gave it back. So that rally was short-lived. On Ethereum, pretty similar. Several red candles last week, a couple green ones for yesterday and today. So not much going on. And to be candid, going through my altcoin charts for both Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro, there wasn't much to work with. So this one could be difficult to chat about because there aren't any obvious strategies that I saw. Well, there were a few, but not as many as I would like to set up our trades for tonight and tomorrow. So we'll be winging it. That's okay. But before I get into that, any comments, questions, wild speculations regarding the overall market, Bitcoin and Ethereum? All right, then we'll get started. I've got Altcoin Alert over here. I'm going to refresh. I'm on the altcoin radar because I want all the information, all the columns by which to search. First one I usually do is the AA score. And this morning I was on Solana, which was a little higher score than this, 77 at the moment. I think it was 78 point something earlier today. So I've been trading that one. At least I tried to. We'll get to that in a moment. Ideally, I'm looking for values 80 and higher. I've only got the one that's 81.2 on NXM, which I'd never heard of. I looked it up and it's not even on any exchanges that I saw. Maybe you can get it on Uniswap or MetaMask or something like that. But it's not on any exchanges that I trade. So I'll bend the rules a little bit, go down to 77, 78, something like that. And I have traded Balancer and XTZ, ADA, before. But since I did set up Solana, we'll look at that one. So go to the Solana chart, start on the 5-minute. Just take these indicators off for the moment. And we did have a little dipping this afternoon on Solana. So we are at pretty much the daily support area. So I'm not sure where you would put a price alert if you wanted to put one in. If you want to go back, scrunch up the chart a little bit. There's another area of support right about here that I see. Show that real quick. You see there's multiple touches on this yellow line area. And you could even go down here if you wanted to this area. So 20.88, 20.68 could be places that you put price alerts if you want to look for a dip and then the bounce back up. But as you know, I prefer the 15-minute chart and using those indicators. So the first one I look at is divergence. Divergence is a disagreement between the indicator and the price action, candle action. So it's a contrarian approach. We're trying to catch the pump after it and then it drops, or catch the dip right when it's starting to go back up. Those are usually good entry points. So I got this too scrunched up. So on Solana, going back to say Saturday, The bullish divergences did pretty well. The bearish ones not as much. So when I look at these past performances to choose what approach I'm going to use, ideally all of them are profitable at some point, either with a, upon entry or with one or two ladder buys. So that short is, I'm just looking for a 1% move on the chart because I'm going to be at 5 or 10x leverage. And so when that trade is successful, that's a 10% trade. As a day trader, I love that. So, okay, so these are looking better than they did this morning. The downside is this divergence indicator. This divergence from any indicators does repaint, so you have to be careful with that. But which means it will move and recreate itself when it gets new data. Can mess up your back testing a bit. So that's why I added this non-repaint one as well, but it is not alert friendly. That's why I have both of them up. For example, this one could have gone off about when this one did, and that kept creeping up and then finalized here, and then it finally went down. So your first impulse is like, wow, this is the greatest indicator ever. Look at that. But it probably went off somewhere in here. So keep that in mind on divergence. But most of these look pretty good. No, not that one. Actually, I think I'm in that one. I took this bullish resistance this morning and it went up about 0.8%. Yeah, and then fell. So I'm still in that trade. That's a little frustrating. But if you like the divergence setup, it's real easy to set alerts. Right click here, add alert on divergence. The negative is usually the first one listed, just based on alphabetical order. Click on that once per bar close. And I use my information source for the name. So this would be AA score purchase. And then my bearish divergence is good to go. Click create. Make sure you have a notification sound that you want. Actually, I like this 3 notes reverb. And click create. And then you do the same thing for positive if you want to trade both directions. Create a second alert doing the same thing. So that's a divergence approach. Another one I like is supertrend. Just like it sounds, you're trying to catch the trend. And I've been mixing and matching some of these. If I see that, say, the buys or the bullish moves have been consistent, I'll use that on the bullish side, and then maybe divergence on the sell side or vice versa. I talked about this in some detail on Friday. But the buys look pretty good here and the sells do not. So like this sell drops a little bit and then shoots back up. If you're a spot trader, if you're trading on Coinbase and KuCoin, things like that, you don't care about, about the sells. You're just trading the buys. But if you're trading leverage, you want to trade each direction. You want to consider both the sell and the buy. And the sell didn't do well. Oh, this one actually did okay. Yeah, that one got us a percentage. And then this one looks pretty good at the moment. I'd probably still be in that trade. So supertrend looks a little bit better than divergence on this trade at this time. And supertrend is alert friendly, very much so. You can set it for a buy, a sell, or my favorite, the trend, the direction change. So this will just, when a buy or sell triggers, it'll or whenever that alert kicks in, when it triggers. Doing too many things here. And again, AA score purchase, and you're good to go on your trading, on your super trend option. Then finally, I've had some success with the RSI on the 15-minute chart. Because usually when on the 15 it drops below 30 and starts to come back, if you go over to the 5-minute chart, this probably won't be a great example. This happened at about 1 o'clock this afternoon. It dropped below the 30 and started to come back. If I go to the 5-minute chart, see it's a dip sequence. So it's sort of like an alert for a dip sequence. That's how I like to think of it. And if you're on this call, you've seen the 1, 2, 3 dip training. That's one of my favorite strategies. So when the RSI alert on the 15 goes off, you're usually in the middle or towards the end of a dip sequence on the 5-minute chart. Okay, and each one of these that dipped below the 30 had a nice rebound. Let me get my vertical line. So it dips below and starts to come back up, and that's when I like to get in. That's a perfect entry there. And got another entry here. And again, you're catching this. Really, really good stuff there. And another one here. So it doesn't get better than this. 3 straight perfect entries. We don't know about the most current one. We have a drop here, and it's kind of going sideways and down a little bit. So this one remains to be seen. The 3 before it did really well on the long side. On the short side, looks pretty good too. So it pumps above the 70 and then drops. So you got this nice drop here. That would have been a good trade. Happens again right about here. Again, big drop there. So good stuff. So that's 5 successful trades in a row on this RSI strategy. And then we don't know about the most current one. So of the options I've looked at, I think the RSI is the best one for this particular setup. And if you want to trade both directions, right click on the RSI, add an alert. We're gonna create a channel. So it's going to enter the channel, the 70 value on top, 30 value on the bottom, once per bar close, and then, AA score. You're good to go on this one. If you're spot trading and you just want to go one direction, then instead of entering the channel, we're going to go crossing up. And 30. And you're good to go on this one. As you can see, I've got this rectangle set up here for this, this entry. So when it leaves, nothing happens, but when it comes back, then my alert goes off. So this has been pretty successful for me in the past month or so, but it doesn't happen real often, which is a little frustrating. So I've got this set up on about 5 or 6 charts. I'm trying to get 3 or 4 trades a day off of it. Been a little short of that. So, all right, so these are my approaches: divergence, supertrend, and RSI on Solana. Any questions before we move on to another coin? Okay. So that was an AA score. Another sort I like is social activity. I'm going to match up either fire or a thumbs up with a thumbs up on trading activity. And I've got that with ring. YGG I was looking at earlier. That's about it on those two. And let's look at YGG. I've traded that before. But the chart doesn't look that good. It's just sideways. Not much going on here on the 5-minute. Support here, but we've broken that. Another area of support here at 1840. That might be a good place to put a price alert. You want to do that, right click here, add alert. 1840. It's going to be social activity, and you'd be good to go. And then there's another area of support right about here, 1781. Let's go to our 15-minute and look at the indicator options. Divergence. And the bullish looks good. All these would have been profitable at some point. Yeah. So all the bullish ones look good. Bearish ones, not. Yeah, maybe the bearish one's pretty good too. Yeah, that one did well. That one looks like it does well. This one does not. And this one does not. So these two here are problems. But the bullish looks pretty good. This bullish histogram just printed. So if you trade on Binance or Bybit, you might want to check this one out. Not financial advice, but we got bullish divergence here on the histogram for YGG on the 15-minute chart. Okay, so I like the bullish, and this might be one where I do a bullish alert on divergence and maybe a bearish alert on supertrend if I like what I see there. But the supertrend doesn't look that great either on the bullish or the bearish side. And sometimes I just do one direction. So if I don't see what I like this one here is bad. You get caught in here, and then that's probably a liquidation or a pretty negative. You're stuck in that for a while, but it is starting to come down again. We'll see. Some combination of ladder buying might have been able to save this. We did 2 or 3 of them. Okay, and then on RSI, let's see if any of these did well. Got a cross here for the positive one. That did really well. A drop here, maybe. Goes up first, then drops. And I'll probably still be in that trade. So that one doesn't do that well. This one's a better entry. So that one's a good one. This one doesn't quite go below the 30. Comes at about 35. I probably would have missed that one. We've got this pump and drop. That's a good move down there. So yeah, the RSI looks pretty good. And one setup that didn't do that well, but maybe could have saved it with some maneuvering. Okay, any questions on YGG? We'll do one more on Altcoin Alert before we head over to iCoinPro. So we did AA score, social activity, 1 hour projected range. Yeah, if I get a value like 3% or higher in here in this average range, I'll check it out usually, but I haven't seen one like that in quite a while. Next is a long-term sentiment, another one I like to sort by, trying to match up sentiment with elder impulse. That's a little more technical than the social and trading activity. Let's see what we got here. See if any of them match up. And sometimes I'll sort elder impulse when it has fewer than long-term sentiment. And I'm not seeing anything matching up. You can also sort them the opposite way. Yeah, like bearish and bearish. Okay, here we go. Doge. I love shorting Doge. I didn't do that today. I didn't flip them like this. I usually do. Atom, IoTex, a couple that had pretty good AA scores like Cardano and Tezos are bearish on these sorts. So trade in both directions. Let's look at Doge. This will be our last one for Altcoin Alert. All right, so we're mostly looking to short this one, but if we have some long opportunities, we'll look at those as well. Okay, mostly sideways and down today on the 5-minute chart. Pretty close to support. Got again here just above 7 cents, and down here just above 7 cents, but not as much above. Okay, on the 15-minute chart, divergence. The short ones look good. I really should have traded this today. And there's a 1% move there. Here, eventually goes up a little bit and then drops here. It takes a while to get 1%, but that happens after about 20 hours. Then another trigger here, goes down. So bearish divergence looks pretty good. Bullish isn't bad either. It's just kind of choppy. That's a move up. That's a move up. This probably goes against you with the ladder buy. Like maybe not. Drops down here, less than 2%, and shoots up here. So that's a winning trade. These we don't know yet. Yeah, you'd still be in that. This is sort of like my Solana trade. It didn't go up enough to get me out. Now it's gone sideways and against me. So we don't know about these, but the divergence before midnight did really well. And super trend.
Jay, can I ask you on the on those a chart you just had up there? Then you had all these little red flags with just a number on them. What did they mean?
The numbers are how many indicators are showing that divergence.
So where there's just a 2 or a 3, that's still an alert for a short.
Right. So this is telling us that I think on balance volume and MFI money flow indicator and the number two indicators. Because you can set this up just like this one here just has the number. This is a different indicator, but the numbers mean the same thing.
Okay.
So these are two different divergence indicators.
All right. Okay. That explains it. All
Yeah.
right. Thank
Yeah. You're welcome. All right. We were on super trend. Yeah, which didn't do that great. Actually, looks like divergence was better than super trend. Maybe that one is profitable. This one. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like super trend that much on this. And then RSI. Got the dip here and really nice pump up there. Then a drop here. And yeah, so really good stuff, but only 2 of them in the last 3 days. So it's the downside of this RSI approach. So what I frequently do is I have one account that's doing this RSI only, and then I have another account that I'm using on the super trend and the divergence. Okay, any questions on Doge, these setups on Altcoin Alert? Okay, we're gonna head over to iCoinPro, one with a 1, 2, 3 dip, and it has 2 information sources that I like to use: the RSI Spy and the Buddy Coin Crawler. The RSI Spy is searchable by or sortable by the 1-hour RSI, and values below 30, like you've seen on my RSI charts, are usually indicative of drops that are due for a recovery. And then on the other side, for pumps that are due to drop. So I sort them both ways, look for both directions. On the long side, we've got clay, which is beaten down a bit and due for a recovery. And all these others are above 30. ARPA, Monero, Quant, these are coins I've traded before. They're a little higher on this than I would like. Cosmos is here, but it's a Bitcoin pair. Let's look at clay. It's got this kind of nifty drop-down menu. Click on Trading View, and it'll bring up a 5-minute chart of the most recent layout for that coin. It should print clay. It should be clay, but it's Bitcoin. Not sure why that is. All right, there's clay. And yeah, trending up a little bit, then trending down most recently. Yeah, I'm not seeing a good place for a price alert. It's already dropped below that value. So you'd want to go to a larger time frame, maybe the 15 or 30-minute charts, if you want to set a price alert. For our indicators on the 15-minute chart, all the bearish ones did well. The bullish, not bad. I don't know if you get out of this one or not. And this one's terrible. Well, that's a bullish one. So yeah, we're talking about bullish. So this one's a problem. All the rest of them look pretty good or still have potential. So that's divergence on supertrend. None of these did well on the bullish side. So you could either, on this one, if you wanted to trade it, I would probably just go negative on it until I saw evidence of a recovery. On the RSI, there was a cross there. That did really well. Might have taken a while. This one's pretty close. It's about 67-ish. Not sure if that would have triggered or not. And we got this one on the low side. Probably get in right about here. And I'm not sure if you get out of that one. That one doesn't quite make it, but it has a big drop. And then this one on the low side, Kraus is right about there. And you're probably just going sideways there. So RSI is not doing that great on this setup. Slight divergence was the best one. Any questions on clay? Okay. Let's sort this one the opposite way. Ontology, that's an oldie but a goodie. Tron, IOTEX, traded IOTEX recently. It's just below 70. So I'm curious about ontology. Let's look at that one. I had a big pump here around noon. Let's go to the 5-minute first. Yeah, this wasn't doing much, and then out of nowhere. I think there was a move at Bitcoin about that time. Okay, on the 15. Bullish ones did well. Bearish. Pretty good. All except this one. You get caught in this when you're short. That's not good. Maybe you could ladder buy out of that one. It's a bit risky to do on shorts. So I saw this a lot today where the setups look really good except for 1, 2, or 3 outliers, but those are the ones that kill you anyway. Okay, on super trend, they all look good except this one. Yeah, that one would have been bad. The rest of them look good. So all the positive, this is one, maybe just go one direction. If you're trading spot, you're gonna do that anyway. You could take just the buy alerts on the super trend or the bullish divergences on divergence, and all those did well because of this pump here. So again, quick review, right click, add an alert, positive divergence detected once per bar close. And this was our RSI SPY, I believe, yeah. And then if I'm doing one direction, I'll put that one in the alert. So, well, actually, since I'm doing separate alerts, yeah, this one would be RSI SPY long, and the other one direction, if I did that, would be RSI SPY short. Okay, and then super trend, you can just go buy, sell, or the direction change, which is my favorite. Okay, on our RSI, yeah, this cross going down. And yeah, we get out about there. Not sure if that one would have triggered. You get this drop and then a pump. That's a really good move. Then we get this pump and then a gradual drop. Probably get in right about here. Maybe you get out, maybe you don't. Yeah, you probably do. Right about here after 11 hours. And then on this drop, it's right about here. Probably get in on this one, and you're probably still in that trade, but not very long yet. Well, maybe you do get out. So RSI looks good on ontology. I think that'd be the way to go. And quick refresher on how to do that alert. If you want to trade both directions, we're going to enter a channel, 70 on top, 30 on the bottom, once per bar close, and RSI SPY for this one, I believe. And there you go. Any questions on ontology? All right, we'll look at the Buddy coin crawler on iCoinPro, and then we'll wrap it up. So that's this one here. And the Buddy coin crawler is going to tell us what's moving today. I like to sort it by the average low to SMA. The low is a 24-hour low. The SMA is that middle red line you see between the Bollinger Bands on my charts. Looking for usually 4% or higher. A lot of the coins aren't moving that much today, but we do have the 7% on Reef. I was looking at this earlier, and it didn't look that good to me as something to trade. So Spell token, maybe it doesn't have very good volume. SLP, same problem. Maybe we'll check at Reef. It was an hour or so ago when I was looking at it. See if it's done anything interesting. Okay, go. Yeah, this is a Binance chart, and the volume's not that good. You get horizontal lines. That means no trades were made. That's why I was discouraged by this. Well, the principles still apply. So we'll look at it real quick and then wrap this one up. And we already broken the support, so I'm not seeing a place for a price alert on the 5-minute. So we'll head over to the 15 on the indicators. And the one bullish indicator did really well on divergence. The bearish one's not bad. This one looks suspect. Yeah, you'd probably still be in that. I don't know about these two. Divergence just doesn't look that good on this at the moment. This might be one that does better with the trend. Yeah, the super trend looks a little bit better. It's just not moving that much. So I don't know. Buddy CoinCrawler's lying to me. Okay, I see the problem. This spike here is skewing the value. Probably what it is. It's not that big of a move, only 1%, 1.4. Yeah, the most recent buy and sell look good on the super trend, but this choppiness not so much. This one does okay. I don't know. Coin flip on this. Not loving it. See if RSI looks better. And we've only got negative moves on the RSI. I've got to pump over the 70 and then a drop. Probably get in about here. Yeah, there's a 1% move. Not bad. This one doesn't quite make it. 60, maybe do a 68 instead of a 70 on this one. They'll catch this move down. But none of them drop below anywhere close to 30. The closest we get to is 36. I don't usually go that high on that value. That eventually would have been okay. Yeah, that short would have been okay. So RSI looks pretty good on the short side. I went through that one kind of fast. Any questions on Reef or iCoinPro? All right, well, I'll wrap it up here for my AA and iCoinPro trading Zoom, Monday night Zoom call. If you're a Carbon member, stick around. We will do that Zoom next. If you're watching on the recording, thank you for doing that. Please check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel. See you next time.